All right, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people talk a lot of negativity when it comes to engine swapping, right? Basically, when somebody will take a Hellcat engine out of a Charger or Challenger, right? And they'll put it into like a Scat Pack body Charger or an RT body Charger or even a 300, right? Because you know Chrysler never came out with the Hellcat 300. A lot of people look down on that because they ask questions about where the engine came from. Was it stolen? Did somebody crash their car and you took the engine out and now you're swapping it? Regardless of where the engine came from, the idea of taking a Hellcat engine out of a Charger or Challenger and putting it into another body type of car is brilliant. It's absolutely smart, right? And I'm going to tell you why. And I want you to poke holes in my argument. Tell me if I'm lying about this or if this makes no sense whatsoever. But I think that engine swapping is brilliant. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So as you can tell, I'm in a car that makes this a car vlog. You already know what's going down. When I come around, let's get into it. I've got car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, and anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. For everything else and everyone else, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. Make sure that you subscribe. Got all kinds of good content coming out for you in 2024. It's going to be a big year. So let's talk about engine swapping, right? And normally it's Hellcat engine swapping, right? It happens with Scat Packs, but most times it's Hellcats, right? We'll talk about Scats as well. So long story short, what people will do is they'll take a Hellcat engine, whether it's a red eye, whether it's a standard Hellcat, or even a Demon. They'll take them out of Hellcat Chargers and Challengers, right? These are cars that came stock with these engines. It's raining, so I'm giving you guys the full, you know what I'm saying, ASMR experience, right? But no, they'll take a standard Charger Hellcat or standard Challenger Hellcat, take the engine out of it completely, take the engine, all of the components around the engine, whatever is needed to make the engine function, and they'll drop it in a Scat Pack Charger body or an RT Charger body or even a 300 body, right? Because you know, like I know, Chrysler never came out with the 300 Hellcat. They only came out with the 6.4, which was recently. And the reason people do that is because they just want the engine. They don't want to pay for the entire car, which makes a lot of sense. Like, go with me on this. So I know of somebody who did that, who swapped a Hellcat engine out of a Charger and put it in their 300. And his rationale behind that was, for one, I've always wanted a Hellcat 300. And I just told you that Chrysler never made Hellcat 300s. I've always wanted that power, but I've always wanted it in a Chrysler 300 body, not a Charger. Now, if you've ever sat in a Chrysler 300, similar to a Charger, but it's a little more luxurious. Like, I think it's got heated and cooled cup holders. It's got a couple other amenities. I think it comes with the panoramic sunroof, the sunroof that you can pull all the way back as opposed to just pulling a quarterback like the Chargers and Challengers. So there are a little more amenities in a Chrysler 300 than there is a Charger or a Challenger. His number one reason was he always wanted the power in the Chrysler 300 body, not a Charger. And number two, and this is most importantly, he doesn't want to pay for a Hellcat Charger, a whole Hellcat Charger. Now, you know, like I know, Hellcat Chargers right now are going for anywhere between, on the low end, 89,000 to the high end, 100,000 plus. Let's stay specific to Chargers because, you know, a lot of people will take them out of the Charger body and put them in Chrysler 300, so on and so forth. So people are paying upwards of $90,000 for these cars. And let's be honest here, you're paying for the engine. I have never heard anyone say, oh, I love the Charger interior so much, it's so luxurious. Never heard that. I love the Charger Uconnect system. It's so technologically savvy. I've never heard that. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard people even talk about the reliability of these cars, the gas mileage of these cars. You buy these cars because of the engine. You want the power, you want the sound, you want the performance, you want the engine. Cut out the middleman. Forget the body, forget the interior, just take out the engine. He took the engine out of a Hellcat Charger, 707, right? So this is a first generation Hellcat, 707, put it in a Chrysler 300. He had someone do it professionally, done correctly, right? The car functions, the transmission, the engine, the Uconnect system, all of the electronics and everything in the car matches up perfectly. Right, the UI, when I say the UI, the user interface as far as the touchscreen is concerned, looks like a Charger Hellcat. So, you know, you got your SRT that pops up, you got your SRT modes, your Hellcat modes, everything. Everything looks Hellcat stock when you're talking about the UI of it. It functions like a Hellcat, moves like a Hellcat. You've got street, sport, track mode, just like a Hellcat, SRT mode, just like a Hellcat. But you're only paying for the engine. Now, that particular Chrysler 300 that he had was a 5.7, and he's paid it off. He owned it since 2016, and he paid it off. So the car is paid off. At this point, all he's paying for is insurance, and insurance is another thing we're going to talk about. But the car is paid off. So he's not making a car payment. He wanted the Hellcat engine. Where he got the Hellcat engine from, I don't know. We're not going to talk about that. I don't know where he got it from. Right? He could have went on eBay and purchased a $28,000 Hellcat engine and had it delivered. He could have gone to a salvage lot and found somebody's Hellcat Charger that had been destroyed and totaled, and he just said, take the engine out. I don't know. Right? That's the great mystery. I don't know where the Hellcat engine came from. But long story short, he got the process done. Everything was correct. Right? It fit up perfectly. So apparently Chrysler 300 and Charger body styles, given the fact that they're all Mopars, they're all similar. I don't think there has to be much, cutting and shaving and all that stuff to fit that Hellcat engine into the 300. It just fit perfectly. So the engine drops in there perfectly. He's basically got a Hellcat 300. He goes out, orders the SRT front end for the Chrysler, because the Chrysler did come in the SRT variant, but it was a 6.1, not a 6.2 supercharged. Got the front end SRT, got the rear end SRT. He got some side skirts. Went and got the Hellcat badge on the back, on the side, on the front. It's a Hellcat 300, y'all. Looks like it, sounds like it, performs like it. It is what it is. Here's the smart part about it. For number one, he only paid for the engine. And once again, however he procured the engine, beyond me. He only paid for the engine, no car payment, and he's paying the car insurance of a 5.7 liter 2016 Chrysler 300. This man is paying, he said, $73 a month for car insurance on essentially a Hellcat. Now, for all you guys that own Hellcats, standard Hellcats, like I know, car insurance is anywhere between $180, $200 and up. Some of you guys are paying $300, $400 and up, right? Especially for the red eyes and the demons and all that stuff. You guys are paying big money for insurance. Now, the insurance alone for these cars is a car payment on another car altogether. Right? If you're paying $300, $400 in insurance, that's, I don't know, that's a 2020 Honda Civic. You know what I'm saying? 2019 Honda Accord. You're pretty much paying a car payment on insurance alone. He's not. He owns the car outright, already owned it, dropped the Hellcat engine in it, paying $73 a month for car insurance because his insurance company is looking at it like it's a 2016 Chrysler 300 5.7. Not a 2016 with a 6.2 liter Hellcat engine, but a 2016 5.7 Chrysler 300. He's got a Hellcat. He's paying $73 a month for car insurance. I know it's getting dark. Sorry. It's literally middle of the day, but we're in the middle of a storm. Listen to the ASMR, right? But $73 in car insurance, no car payment on his car whatsoever. No car payment. He's essentially got a Hellcat for $73 a month. Now, whatever he paid up front for the Hellcat, for the engine itself, he didn't tell me that. All right? I guess that's none of my business. But when you see these Hellcat engines getting swapped in scat packs, and not only that, but the taxes. So like I know, when you pay taxes at the end of the year, property taxes, car taxes, whatever your city or state calls it, he's paying property taxes on a 2016 Chrysler 5.7. Not a Hellcat Chrysler, a 2016. And he said his taxes last year was like $185. I think he said $200. It was either $185 or $285. But either way, that's ridiculously cheap. But he's got a Hellcat engine under the hood of his car. $73 a month in car insurance. His car insurance company thinks that it's basically a 5.7, a 2016 5.7. He pays $285 annually in property taxes. And he's got a Hellcat. Say what you want about engine swapping, however they get the engines, however, whatever. But $73 a month for a Hellcat and $285 a year in property taxes, you can't beat that. So you see why people take these Hellcat engines and they drop them in the scat packs. You got scat pack owners that want scat packs but don't want to pay want Hellcats but don't want to pay Hellcat money. They take these engines and they drop them into 6.2 or not 6.2s, 3.6s. This rain is serious. But yeah, they do all of that and they're paying nickels and dimes a month for these cars and even less a year. That's what makes engine swapping so smart. Now, the legitimacy or the legal aspect of where they got the engine from, it's a different story, right? I don't know how that works out at the DMV as far as registering and all that stuff is concerned. But as long as the DMV looks at it and sees a 2016 Chrysler 5.7, it's a Chrysler 5.7 and you pay for a Chrysler 5.7. What's under the hood of the car has nothing to do with the DMV. It's smart. I'm not gonna knock it. It's smart, you know? I am not gonna knock it at all. It's smart. Say what you want about engine swapping. It's smart to do it that way, especially if you're a Chrysler guy and you've always wanted a Hellcat Chrysler, and obviously Chrysler never made a Hellcat. Now you got one and you're paying $73. You're paying what you would pay for a Honda Civic for a Hellcat sedan. Talk to me, guys. Tell me how you feel about it. I mean, like I said, how they get these engines, I don't know. Could be stolen. Could be from a total Hellcat Charger or Challenger. Could be from a Hellcat that they just found on the street. I don't know. But just the idea of it, in theory, it makes perfect sense. And they're saving a whole lot more money than I am in my damn 23 Hellcat Charger. Poke holes in my argument. Tell me what I'm missing. Because on the surface, this all looks smart as hell to me. Talk to me. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to get out of here before I get fucking drowned. See you guys in the next one. Peace.